Welcome to the Rebel Chateau out here in Franklin, Tennessee, the heart of Silicon Country. This week's Rebel podcast features one of my favorite people of all time, a true stuntman, media maven, actor, wrestler, performer extraordinaire, puppeteer, David Arquette, part of a legendary creative family. Over the years, I've gotten to know him as someone who really can do it all. He is kind of like the new Andy Kaufman. I don't know if he's gotten his flowers culturally yet, but anybody who asks me, I would tell them that he is a genius, and trust me, I've interviewed a few geniuses in my time. I love the way that he treats life as a grand experiment. He's gone through incredible phases of his career, from being an actor and a wrestler, and then an actor again, and then trying to go and really get some credibility so people understood his commitment to the craft of wrestling, much like anybody who has a craft, whether you're a magician, an artist, a painter, a sculptor. Sometimes success can be a difficult thing, especially when you achieve it straight out of the gate. And over the last few years, he was involved in a documentary that you really have to see to believe, where he goes and proves himself in that world. My conversation with David is always, whether it's on camera or one-on-one, fascinating and stuff that you can learn a lot from. I truly look at him as a disruptor and one of the genius minds of our time. And aside from him, you know, obviously if you look at his whole family, literally everybody in it have made contributions to the world of art. And if you don't know about them, give it a Google. And without further ado, here is Rebels with David Arquette.
What's up, David? How are you, man?
What's up, Zach? I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah. So, you know, Jared sold Jingle Punks recently and has a 2-year, contract that says he's not allowed to make any more jingles. So basically, he's looking for a new gig. And you, having made the transition from successful actor to wrestling champion, you could be one of the kings of a second career. So we're trying to see if maybe Jared could possibly step in the ring, put on a nice pair of tights and become, the great next wrestling champion of the world. We wanted to talk to you about, how we would go about maybe doing that and how you got to where you are today.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Take us back to where your love of wrestling actually started, because you're a man who has way too many hobbies and actually things that you're good at to list here. But, where did wrestling factor in growing up for you?
Oh, man. Well, there's a lot to get to here. I mean, for one, you'd make a great wrestler. I mean, but the first thing I'll tell anybody who's interested in wrestling, I'd say, are you just insane? Don't do it. Do not put your body through this. Okay, so I fell in love with wrestling as a kid. Just, really early, like Olympic auditorium, local wrestling, like black and white, King, Gorgeous George the Animal Steel, like crazy old school. We're really out there stuff, but fun. And like, I had no idea what the hell it was. And then I got into WWE and WrestleMania and Cyndi Lauper and Mr. T and like Hulk Hogan and Macho Man and just that whole time period. I just fell in love with it. My dad was a voice actor, and he did the voice to Jimmy Superfly Snuka on Hulk Hogan's cartoon. So I love that cartoon. I love that cartoon. My dad's the coolest. I love Jimmy Snuka. It's why now, even to this day, I jump off the top rope to the outside and do a crossbody because I love Jimmy Superfly Snuka. So I loved wrestling. Me and my friends, we went to go see Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan at the Los Angeles Sports Arena, and I touched Andre's back, and it was just so much larger than life. It was like a circus. I love circus too, so it was just like this incredible world. It's like circus with violence. And then so then I kind of got out of it, and then when after I'd done Scream, I had a little bit of an opportunity to kind of pick and choose what I wanted to do, and I had a relationship going with Warner Brothers, and they owned TNT and TBS and had WCW, which was at the time a competitor to WWE.
Yeah.
And they decided to make me the champion. It was like a weird thing. Like it happened organically. I'd gone to promote the film, and I went and I jumped the guardrail and jumped into the ring, and then somebody like did a diamond cutter on me or something. And that was my first thing, and it got a really good reaction. People loved it, so they thought, oh, let's do this all the way to the pay-per-view. And then I did one more or something, and they said, we're going to make you the champion, but you have to stay on to the pay-per-view.
Wow.
And I didn't know the implications of it at the time. I kind of, since I went through the experience of, we just did a documentary for the last 2 years called You Cannot Kill David Arquette.
And by the way,
followed this
that's one of the
journey
greatest trailers I've ever seen. That, and we'll get to that in a second, but keep going, because this was all around Ready to Rumble, right?
Yeah, it was all Ready to Rumble. So I'd read Ready to Rumble. I was already a wrestling fan, and it had like Macho Men within the first like 10 pages. My character's like interacting with Macho Men, and I just called up and I was like, "Are you talking like? Is it actually gonna be Macho Man?" And they said, yeah, Macho Man's already on.
Wow.
And I was done. I was like, this is like
I'm
a
in.
dream come true. And it's kind of a character as if I'd never stopped being a wrestling fan. And I never really did, but I just didn't follow along like true wrestling fans. Funny thing happens when you're a wrestling fan. It's like if you don't have your core group of friends that are also wrestling fans and they kind of like, oh, you know, it's stupid, they don't follow it anymore, that's for kids. Then you're like left in the lurch. And then you meet friends that you meet anyway in life that are still wrestling fans like you are. And then you get back into it. It's really fun.
It
it's
is
actually,
weird because
when you get back into it, it's kind of like it's like a comfort food. It just feels like, and then you start.
I have friends in Toronto who never stopped. I have friends in Toronto who never stopped liking the type of wrestling that you like. That guy Pageman and Gian, who's the Iron Sheik's, nephew or whatever.
Yeah, I love the twin brothers. I know those.
Yeah,
guys.
and they're fanatics. They're like you, and I didn't get it.
Awesome.
I always thought they were like joking around, but they went from like high school to college to now. They still love it. So I mean, I understand the fanatical nature of it. I think that when people are into it, outsiders might look at you and go, this guy's crazy. You've lost your mind. This is an adult.
I did lose my mind. You have to be absolutely insane to wrestle or be involved in wrestling like that. You do. You have to be like, there's got to be a screw loose. And that's what I learned in coming back, that, crazy's a thing too. You know what I mean? It's like, there's tough. You have to be tough to be a wrestler. You have to be crazy, and you have to be, if you're athletic and like a great wrestler, that's where like all the pieces come together. But I have the crazy part, and I can do a little athletic.
I don't know if you have any of those, Jared.
I got the crazy down.
You got crazy.
So when I first met David was also, you weren't in the best shape of your career. I know that you and I shared a trainer. JP was a really great guy, breath work guy. But so how did talk to me about, okay, you decide you're going to get back into wrestling. What came first, the documentary or the will to want to do it? Because you won the heavyweight title with WCW. Obviously, that caused a little bit of fan reaction that haunted you for a few years.
For 20 years. For 20 years, I was one of the most hated, and not anymore so much, but one of the most hated guys in wrestling, because it was considered one of the worst things in wrestling history. And, an untrained actor wins the belt. It just devalued it shortly after WCW crumbled, and I kind of got lumped in there. Vince Russo was the guy behind it, and everybody hates him, so I got lumped in there too. So I did want to clear my name and come back. I had like this really kind of a heart attack during a stress test. They gave me an injection, and I had a really bad reaction. And I was like, I was at some shit hospital in the valley, and they had the guy, I'm having this really bad reaction. There's two ways of doing a stress test. One's on like a treadmill, and it's really like just that. And the other one's an injection they give you, and your asshole gets all hot, and like all this weird shit happens. You start breathing like you're fucking running a marathon. It's adrenaline, essentially. But my heart just was like, I feel like I'm dying. It was just the worst fucking thing. And I see the doctor, he picks up the phone and he calls up the 5th floor where my room was.
Yeah.
And then tells the nurse to like bring down nitroglycerin and stuff. And then he, as I'm like fucking, he's on the phone like documenting everything. Patient brother, same brother, doing all this medical jargon, and I'm like, oh, this guy's fucking you know, laying down his defense. Fucking gone.
He's backing away from the vehicle.
Yeah, I swear, I was like, but it was getting bright. I was going. Oh man, it was intense. But so then after that, I got 2 stents put in my heart, and then I had to lose a bunch of weight and get my health together. And I knew I was doing that anyway. And and right before I was going to get my stents, I'm thinking about life. And, you know, when you get to a certain point, you're kind of like, well, yeah, I've made my mistakes. I've done shitty things, but all in all, I'm a good person. No one really hates me. I have a beautiful family, and they'll love me, even though I've, raised my voice too much probably, and blah, blah, blah. But all in all, that's life. You know what I mean? It's been a crazy journey. Que sera, sera. You know what I mean? I got nothing of, you know what I mean? I'm going to be all right. But then I kept thinking, but all the wrestling, these fucking, but those wrestling fans, like, they still think I'm a pussy and all this shit. And I was like, why am I thinking about wrestling? I'm worried about dying. And I'm thinking about wrestling. So that's where it all kind of came together. I was like, okay, if you're an actor and you get a role in a Marvel film, they put you on this dope regimen. You get all the things going. They tell you how to eat, and you just do it. You know what I mean? It's a formula you can do. Anyone can do it. You have the sort of will or whatever. So I know how to do it. If you have to play like a really sick character or something, you have to lose a ton of weight. There's something you do. It's like no carbs. You starve the fucking shit out of yourself. No carbs. You just like eat egg whites all the time, and you do cardio and you do weights, and that's how you become a superhero. So I knew how to do it, and I knew I had to do it. So then we got the idea to do a documentary about it. And then I went to my friend who I'd met in Haiti, this guy, Bryn Mooser, who's amazing documentary film producer. He's an incredible guy, works for Peace Corps, and like met him in Haiti with my sister, who's got a big charity called givelove.org there that we all met after the earthquake. We were down there. We got a bunch of tents from him and Sean Penn's thing and Core. So then I went to Bryn and I said, Bryn, I'm gonna return to wrestle. He's like, I think it's a great idea. He got his partner at a company. They were at a company called Riot at the time. Yeah. His partner David Darg, and him and David Darg loved wrestling as a kid too, with his best friend, this guy James Price, and who's also a director, and he's a comedic director. And David Darg's like a film, like he's nominated for Academy Award for documentaries, like a real sort of series, like covered the Ebola like thing, like on film, like hardcore dude. So these two came together, and then they just put this insane journey for me to go back to. So I start out going sort of from the a lot of shit happens. Our first day, we got in a bar room brawl with the Nasty Boys. No joke. It's like a full-on fucking brawl. I got punched in the ear by a girl. Knocked my earring out. Like I gotta get like gouged. Big bloody ear, like torn right here. Like first day of filming, I got punched by a girl. It was amazing. So the whole thing. What happened was, Nasty Boys, we hadn't really asked them if we could film or not. okay, the Nasty Boys were doing this thing called the Legends of Wrestling, and Eric Bischoff and Ric Flair were gonna be there.
Wow.
And both of those guys I interacted with. Eric Bischoff had a lot to do with my WCW run, so I wanted to talk to him on a documentary about it, and Ric Flair. And so the Nasty Boys were throwing the thing, and I didn't know the Nasty Boys, so we called about filming there and filming at the thing. They said no. They said you can't film at the event. They're just like, not gonna happen. Like, oh, okay, well, we'll just go down. We found out where Eric Bischoff was gonna be in the hotel, and Ric Flair, and we got rooms there, and we set up for the next day. So we're doing some B-roll that night, the night before the event. We're doing B-roll, and I'm talking. We're having a couple of drinks, me and Eric Bischoff, and we're talking about everything. And somebody smashes the camera, like. While I was talking to Eric Bischoff, all these wrestlers came in behind me, and they were filming and stuff, and they didn't ask them if we could film them. They smashed the camera. Jerry Sags from the Nasty Boys smashed the camera. And then this big dude, like this much taller than me, comes over and grabs me by the back of the neck. And I'm sitting there. I don't know what the fuck's going on. So he grabbed me by the back of the neck. And I said, what's going on? They said, they smashed the camera. And then I realized some guy's got his hand on my neck. So I he's got a big long beard, just a big long beard. So I grab his beard like this. And I say, if you don't let go of my neck. And then his girlfriend punched me in the ear.
Oh.
That was our first day of shooting.
Oh my God.
That was maybe our first setup.
Yeah.
So
The reason
that sort of set the tone.
Yeah, the reason why I think you're also, quite interesting, but also I'd use the word crazy, is blood is a big part of wrestling. And like, so you have a bloody ear the first day. Didn't you also like almost get your like jugular?
Yeah, I got a bad death match, and I messed up. It was my fault that I got stabbed in the neck with a light tube. But yeah, I've had a death match with somebody who's an insane wrestler named Nick Gage. It was my fault what happened, but I was in over my head. I didn't know what I was getting into. I also I went off. It's choreographed. It's not in any way fake. It's so fucking real. So much realer than anybody would ever imagine. It's literally more like choreographed MMA than it is like anything else, with like the flipping and like it's just such a dangerous situation. It's really intensely hard. Like,
I was going to ask that because that's obviously on a lot of people's minds ever since we were kids. Oh, it's fake, but obviously you have a hole in your neck. You've probably broken bones. You've come home in pain.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm in my house, and I have a ring in my backyard.
Nice.
That's commitment.
Yeah, I put this ring in my backyard, so I trained like a motherfucker for a long time, and did it. And you really have to train. You really have to get up to speed and like be able to take these bumps, and because and there's all these layers. But I learned a really important lesson in that Nick Gage fight, and it's always stick to the plan. Even if it becomes a real fight while you're in there, and that happens more often than you think.
Wow.
You, at least for me, it does. I mean, it kind of does with me. I don't know. It's an interesting business, but
and you ended up doing a bunch of different disciplines of wrestling. Like, I think in the trailer I saw that you had done like street wrestling in Mexico, and
so
you did
when
all
I came
sorts
back,
of things.
we wanted to sort of climb the ladder, so I started backyard wrestling, because since I was the champion, it kind of was this thing that erupted backyard wrestling, like, and then all of this new generation kind of came out of that, and it also made for slightly smaller people that are doing this, like, and more acrobatic stunts. So now I'm looking at the business like, oh shit, a guy named Daniel Bryan is an amazing, incredible wrestler, but he's now bigger than me. You know what I mean? So the fact that I was the champion and this big joke, I could actually give him a run for his money. And I also know how I can get like caught up, and I know how I'm thick. I'm a thick guy. I'm kind of built a little bit like these wrestlers. They're big boys, you know what I mean? And I'm bigger than you'd think I am. If you just think like, oh, David Arquette, the actor, is married to Courtney Cox. Like, that's how I was looked at when I won the championship. You know what I mean? So I get it, but I wanted to like say, fuck you people. You know what I mean? Like, don't tell my story for me. You know what I mean? Don't, troll me for 20 years and just, I'm like, that doesn't have to be the ending. And I love wrestling, and I wanted to love wrestling again. So I didn't want it to have like a negative thing. But now when I watch wrestling, it's a whole different experience. It's like, oh, yeah. I broke 3 ribs in Tijuana when I trained with the Luchadors and did an 8-man tag match there. And I broke 3 ribs, and it was the most painful thing. And then I had to continue wrestling for the next, period of time. And just taking these bumps on 3 broken ribs is the most. When I watch it now, I still have this like, I don't know. It's like a pain that I think will be in. And I'm probably hated for this, but I think it's as close as a man's gonna get to pregnancy. Like, it's so, I could, like, when I think of certain matches, certain bumps I've taken, I get like an internal like flush of hardcore. You have such a different relationship with pain, and there's also a real layer of self-abuse and like beating the fucking shit out of yourself. And that's where it really came to things with this part, you know what I mean? And Luke Perry was there, who's a dear friend of mine. His son Jack Perry's an incredible wrestler named Jungle Boy. And he's just blowing up. And he's this match that night was a really kind of insane night in just wrestling in general. He really took off. It was beautiful to see. He's now wrestling for AEW, a really big company. So it was at a really fun time in wrestling that I did this little journey in the independent circuit. So it's cool to see all these guys grow up. But then, so this all happens. Luke and Jack take me to the hospital and shit. And, 2 weeks later, Luke dies. I come out of the hospital. I don't want to be on painkillers too much. I stop painkillers, so I start drinking more, blah, blah, blah. Just life spirals out of control. I have to get my shit back together and like kind of finish what I started with this movie and everything. But that's all, like, it all was captured in this film, and it's insane. So I lived like the wrestler movie in like a encapsulated 2-year span.
You're talking about the Mickey Rourke movie?
Yeah.
I tell anybody whoever asks me about you, I always say, look, I know you, and now I know your sister Rosanna. You guys are on a different level of like genius, but also the commitment that your life roles, your work roles, your occupational roles that I've seen from you and your sister, specifically also seeing the commitment to this wrestling, because a lot of actors in Hollywood would never do this. They would never. People go, oh, it's crazy. De Niro gained 40 pounds to be the Raging Bull. No, you lived the Mickey Rourke experience for like a year and a half, and then you were able to just somehow untangle from it and get back to normal. When I hung out with you during that, I was like, Dave's in this. Like, you are living this role. And did you have a problem shutting it off after when it was all done?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It was an intense journey. It really was the culmination of almost my life and childhood and really abusive behavior to myself. I've since quit drinking. I can't drink, but I do smoke pot. I have to smoke pot. It's just as a chill thing. I try not to, I don't like taking all the brain medicines. Like, they had me on something called Concerta, and was like speed. And I was like, it kind of like did something amazing for my brain as far as ADD and stuff goes. But at the end of the day, you're kind of just speeding out all day, and it's too intense. So
yeah.
A little
Well,
sativa, weed.
that'll do it.
my
That'll
life
take the edge
now.
off. And look, you kind of got dealt an unlucky timing thing with the film supposed to be debuting at South by. I know the whole world sort of shut down. So
Yeah.
when can people expect to like hear about this? When is it going to go to market? Because I, as a
This
fan
was
and
the
a friend,
most
I'm
intense.
excited.
This is the best interview I've had about my film so far. Thank you for that, because I shared stuff on this that I haven't told anybody about. But yeah, hopefully by September it'll be kind of everywhere.
TIFF.
You know, iTunes, VOD, everything you can think of, and rep by a really good company. But we're just waiting. But it probably won't
This
be
has
on
got to
the
be an award. This has got to be an award-winning movie. Like just based on the trailer and based on what I know that you're a great marketer too. I feel like if they get this right, this is going to be one that people are talking about. And you know, I don't know what to really compare it to because you are like a carnival character brought to life. You and I have done some crazy things. Like you brought us on the Gong Show, and I couldn't show up. And you brought a cardboard cutout of me, and you did like a little puppet dance. Like you had me do a charity thing where we raised. You got me into so many things. You got me into my trainer. You got me into doing charity work for the feed the homeless.
Feeding
in
America?
Santa Monica. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, OPCC, which is now
Yes.
people's concern. Yeah, bro.
That was great. And look, David's just this well-rounded, amazing guy, and we really appreciate you telling us about your journey into wrestling here. I think, Zach, do you want to weigh in here and say, do you think I got what it takes to?
Nope.
Nope.
Oh,
How many are there?
Listen, never say that, because listen, there's a company, and I want you all to Google them, because I've yet to wrestle with them. But if I do continue any kind of wrestling, it'll probably be like this kind of wrestling. It's called Wrestling Pro Wrestling. It's so insane. You have to say wrestling twice.
That's so
Wrestling
good.
Pro Wrestling, and I'm a Bob Ross certified instructor, so I'm gonna do a Bob Ross gimmick at some point. That's another little what's it called? I don't know what it's called.
It's a secret skill.
It's a little thing I haven't shared with anyone else. So
It's
my
amazing.
Bob
You know-
Ross wrestling gimmick's coming up, and you're the first ones to know.
We're all very
I mean,
excited.
between that, your puppeteering, Jesus, there's so many things on your resume. I feel like there's a big thing I'm missing here. There's one thing that you do, I don't know, but you're a man of many
honorary
trades.
clown.
A clown.
Honorary
Yeah, so
clown with
Bozo the clown.
ring. And also I got a couple gold records with Year 2000, my band. I'm just saying. We got lucky. I got
You
lucky.
also have a
West-
couple of blockbuster entertainment awards.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
By the way, I'm looking online. I was curious about this. I didn't realize you were Jewish, as Jared
Yeah, man.
are as well.
I had my look at King David. When I made
There you go.
my first return to the ring, I did a King David gimmick as
Well, I
a
was
little
amazed 'cause
wink
as-
and nod. It's a total wink and nod to like David and Goliath, but it's also I'm Jewish, and within wrestling, there's like a little bit of like not
Yeah.
a little bit, but some anti-Semitism.
Well, I'm looking at because Jared being, and myself, all of us being Jewish. I was looking at Jewish wrestlers. There's a ton of them.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Who
there
else?
are.
Well, Goldberg,
Of
Goldberg.
course.
right? But you can put Andy Kaufman in that as well, certainly. There's just a big list of people. Tomer Shalom, who can forget him? Izzy Slapowitz?
These are made up names.
No, I swear to God. Rick Drazen. These are legends. Rick Drazen.
Well, they're all made
Radel?
up names. You have to like when you introduce a wrestler, you say like, "Hey, I'm David. You can call me Scoot, or you can call me Big Pop."
Yeah.
Right.
You call
All
me
right. So
Pop.
Jared, what would your wrestling name be? Tough one.
The Dirty Dreidel. I don't know.
Ooh. The
Dirty Dreidel. My move could be a spin.
Yo, bro. Do they have the rights to your name, bro?
Dude.
Jingle
The
Jared.
Jingle Jared?
They did. I think Jingle might be.
You can't
because it's
say
funny.
Jingle?
I don't know. There was a Variety article the other day about my new business, and my PR person hit up the lady and said, "You got to take
You got to
Jingle
say it
out."
and
And
not say
she texted me. She goes, "Really?" And I was like, I don't know. It's my choice. They don't own it. I think I'm just trying to evolve. It's like you.
Jingle in the
next
Ringle.
chapter.
Yeah,
I
got
went
you.
full method on being Jingle Jared for 10 years. Now I'm something new. So
Yeah. What about like what if you're like do like remember I always like Bugs Bunny. I always think I don't know. I think Bugs Bunny had a whole so like the conductor, a concerto, like you're like dun, 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 like that's your gimmick, and you bum, 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 and you have the crazy hair, and you try to like dun, 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 try to get the audience to do it. Bum, 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 bum,
that's my
bum,
next.
bum, 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 bum.
I'm gonna be like Gustavo Dudamel. Dude, you are amazing. I knew that this would be my favorite episode so far. This is definitely.
It's great seeing you.
This is really it. We wanted to know a quick bite about your journey from, regular, just David Arquette to wrestler David Arquette. And I'm so excited for people to be able to see your film. And hopefully this episode will time out by the time everything's available for your movie. So we'll hold on to this thing and try and time it so we get some synergy, as they say. But Zach, anything else you wanted to add?
Dude, this is hilarious. I wish the audience could see the videos we're watching of David's tour of all the like knickknacks and crazy stuff at his house.
Oh, good. We're not. I was showing all the.
Well, there's a huge sign in your backyard that says Juvenile Detention Center.
David, next. One day I want to make the Bozo biopic with you, so we'll talk offline about Bozo.
Absolutely, bro.
He's obsessed with Bozo the Clown.
Dude, I love it.
Yeah. Thanks, y'all.
Dude,
Bozo for President 2021.
Yes. Later,
see you guys soon.
All right, guys, take it easy.
David, you're the best. Amazing.
That was amazing. Oh my God.
Amazing.
Okay, that was my conversation with David Arquette, the legendary man of many, many skills. Honored to have him on the show. Honored that I can say that I've spent quality time with him as a human being, a friend, a creator, a collaborator, and just to hear him talk is something that I'm always seeking to learn, and I'm always seeking to widen and broaden my horizons. And I think that the journey of life, if you just keep doing the same thing over and over again, you're going to find yourself getting bored. And David certainly is not doing that. He is continuing to expand his horizons at every possible opportunity. This is a podcast about rebels, innovators, disruptors. For me, on my journey as I build Rebel Audio, the first ever AI native podcast platform, which is now in public beta, and depending on when you watch this, in full swing and available to the public. You can just go to rebelaudio.ai. I appreciate you tuning in, and if you like it, please give us a rating, share, and see you next time from Franklin, Tennessee and Silicon Country. Yeehaw and amen. Woo!